All praises. We have another coming today, coming at you today with another Shabbat lesson. We have been studying the seven churches, which is in Revelation 2 and 3, chapters 2 and 3. So we are on the Church of Philadelphia. And those who've been following along with us with the Bibles and with the comments and everything, we once again just let you know we're doing the seven churches. So we're basically trying to do a study and we're asking the Most High to give us understanding on the scriptures, us coming from different perspectives and then coming together on the day of Sabbath to, share the wisdom that the Most High has given us with the scriptures and so forth concerning the lesson. So, just for those that don't know, as far as doing a recap, that basically what we do is we, as I said, study respectively by ourselves and come together on Sabbath. And the Most High reveals to each one of us whatever He has revealed throughout the week concerning the scripture. And we welcome those who are going to be listeners, those who will be adding to the comments and so forth. We welcome, the understanding that the Most High bless you with as well, because we know each one can teach one. There's no big eyes and little U's with us. So, we definitely want to hear from you in your comments. If the Most High has blessed you with something, and it could be precept or whatever it may be, or if you just have a different understanding, we're not those type of brothers and sisters that come together and, oh, no, it's just our way and that's it. No, it's the Most High's way. So that's kind of how we want to stay. We want to stay in that vein. So with that being said, we are going to start off with the Ahava on the Church of Philadelphia. He was the Most High and blessed her with. All praise.
All praise to the Most High. Yada, can you go ahead and just read the whole
Okay.
section for me, just to start it off?
Okay. So we are Revelation chapter 3, verse 7. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that openeth and no man shutteth, and shutteth and no man openeth. I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold the fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go out no more. And I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God. And I will write upon him my new name. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith to the churches.
So the first thing I do every week is to ask the Most High to show me what is the character, what is um, what qualities are we being revealed about the Mashiach in each of the churches, because there's a different characteristic or a different manifestation of the Mashiach that we are introduced to in every letter. So in this one, the two that popped out are holy and true. To the angel in the church of Philadelphia write, these things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that openeth and no man shutteth, and shutteth and no man openeth. So looking up the word holy is G40, hagios, which means holy, moral quality, consecrated, ceremonially acceptable to the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing, first and foremost, is we need to make sure that we are acceptable to the Most High. those who are in this church are receiving this message, and we're seeing a manifestation of this characteristic of Mashiach, because this is important. It's so important that that's the very first thing that we learn about him. Next to holy is true, which is G228, Alethinos, true or genuine. This opens up a whole lot of things, because the first thing I ask is, what does it mean to be true? We say that we're in the truth. We know the truth. We are awakened in the truth. But the reality is, the truth has nothing to do with us, because the truth remains true regardless of what anyone believes. So when we talk about the characteristic of he that is true, Most High took me to Romans 3.
Okay.
For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High God without effect? The Most High forbid. Yea, let the Most High God be true, but every man a liar.
Mhm.
As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. But if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of the Most High God, what shall we say? Is the Most High God unrighteous who taketh vengeance? I speak as a man. The Most High forbid. For then how shall the Most High judge the world? For if the truth of the Most High God hath more abounded through my lie unto his glory, why yet am I also judged as a sinner? And not rather as we be slanderously reported, and as some affirm that we say, let us do evil that good may come, whose damnation is just. What then? Are we better than they? No, in no wise. For we have before proved both Jews and Gentiles that they are all under sin. As it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. There is none that understandeth, there is none that seeketh after the Most High. They are all gone out of the way. They are together become unprofitable. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Their throat is an open sepulchre. With their tongues they have used deceit. The poison of asps is under their lips, whose mouth is full of cursing and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood. Destruction and misery are in their ways, and the way of peace have they not known. There is no fear of the Most High God before their eyes. Now we know that what things soever the law saith, it saith to them who are under the law, that every mouth may be stopped, and all the world may become guilty before the Most High God. Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight, for by the law is the knowledge of sin. But now the righteousness of the Most High God without the law is manifested, being witnessed by the law and the prophets, even the righteousness of the Most High God, which is by faith of the Mashiach unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High God, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in the Mashiach, whom the Most High God hath set forth to be a propitiation through faith in his blood, to declare his righteousness for the remission of sins that are past through the forbearance of the Most High God. To declare, I say, at this time his righteousness, that he might be just and the justifier of him which believeth in Mashiach. Where is their boasting then? It is excluded. By what law? Of works? Nay, but by the law of faith. Therefore, we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law. Is he the Most High God of the Jews only? Is he not also of the Gentiles? Yes, the Gentiles also. Seeing it is one Most High God, which shall justify the circumcision by faith and uncircumcision through faith, do we make void the law through faith? The Most High forbid. Yea, we establish the law. So what do you all think about that?
Especially the last part, kind of open up to just when you talk about the doors opening and you talk about the Gentiles being able to be be able to come through those doors
Mm-hmm.
by them believing in the Most High and His Son and the laws.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes sense because He's opening these doors and they have a chance to go through these doors even though they are not from the seed of David.
Right.
but they still have that chance to go through. Is just praise the Most High for that.
Because he's the key. But here's the thing: when you go through that door, you have to go through that door in truth.
Right.
You have to know the truth. You have to believe that which is true, because again, the truth is the truth, regardless of what we believe. The
Right.
truth is that which is genuine and that which is true. You have anything to add? One of the things that I thought about when I was looking at this part about true, he that is true, he that is holy. I think one of the things that a lot of people get caught up in the church is the whole, you know, faith versus works and faith versus the law. And this scripture makes it clear. That's why I wanted to read the whole passage, that it does talk about the law and it does talk about faith, and it talks about the faith of the law, that we put our confidence in that which is true, that which is holy. We put our confidence in the law. And while we know that none are righteous, and that's where grace comes in, we still strive for the perfection of that law. We still strive to do that which he called us to do, which is to be true to that. And at the same time, we know that contrary to what some people in the church believe, the law is not done away with, that the Mashiach came to establish the law through faith. And that's why the last line is so important, that we don't make the law void, that we establish the law, that it's our faith that justifies us through the fulfillment of the law. We can't just say, oh, I have faith, I believe, I believe. We have to, you know, the word says the faith without works is dead. It's the works. It's the works. The works are the working of the law. And so that's part of what being true means. So he's showing us this by example, that this is the way that we are to walk.
You know, when I look at he that is holy, he that is holy, he that is true, he that has the key of David. When I look at that, I also think about when he went into the synagogues, the shop, and he would read from the Holy Scriptures, you know. And, you know, he kind of, I love the way he set the example of how he was the model for bringing out the word. Like, he didn't go in there and start teaching. And he could have. He could have did a lot of things, but he just read the word and then he stopped. You know what I'm saying? And what I like about that is we know his word is true.
Right.
So
if
we just stay with his word, we'd be good. You know, when we start reaching and doing all these different things and don't have any precepts to go along with what we're saying and different things like that, that's where it gets complicated. You know, and that's all I wanted to say for it. That's it.
Okay, so you kind of touched on the next portion, the key of David. Anytime for me, when I see the word key, it's immediately saying, okay, something is going to be open and something's going to be closed, and things will be locked and things will be unlocked. And so that kind of opens up that the key of David, he that openeth, no man shutteth, and no man openeth. So that took me back to Isaiah 22, 21 through 25. And I will clothe him with thy robe and strengthen him with thy girdle, and I will commit thy government into his hand. And he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder. So he shall open and none shall shut, and he shall shut and none shall open. And I will fasten him as a nail in a sure place, and he shall be for a glorious throne to his father's house. And they shall hang upon him all the glory of his father's house, the offspring and the issue, all vessels of small quantity, from the vessels of cups even to all the vessels of flagons. In that day, saith the Most High, shall the nail that is fastened in the sure place be removed, and be cut down and fall, and the burden that was upon it shall be cut off, for the Most High hath spoken it. So this is one of those prophetic, this is a prophecy, which basically is telling you exactly what it says in Revelation 3, that he shall open and no man shutteth, and shutteth no man open. It's almost, you know, the flip of that back in Isaiah. So it points directly towards the Mashiach. Then in Revelation 3, I know thy works before I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and has not denied my name. What stood out for me here was strength. And strength is G1411, dynamis, which means power, ability, miracle, ruler, an extended meaning of a person or supernatural being who has administrative power. And we know that administrative has to do with governing. But what the Most High showed me is that it's not about our strength, it's not about our power, but rather it's about the strength and power of the Most High. In 2 Corinthians 12, 6 through 10, it says, For though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a fool, for I will say the truth. But now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me. And lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Most High thrice, that it might depart from me. And he said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of the Mashiach may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses, for the Mashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then am I strong. So here, just talking about, it says, thou hast a little strength. But again, it's not about our strength. It's about his strength. We're not to be relying upon the strength that we have because we get weary. But what this reminded me of, going back to Paul and him wrestling with the infirmity and the thorn in the flesh that he had. Some people say he was blind. Some people say it was a literal thorn in the flesh that you could feel and manifest. But I don't think that matters. What matters most about this is that it's the strength that he was able to find, that it wasn't his strength, but rather it was the strength of the Most High, because he realized that the Most High's grace was sufficient, because it was his grace and strength that made him strong when he was weak. So this is one of the things that the Mashiach is saying about this church, the people in this church, that they have a little strength. But if they have a little strength and they're moving forward, that means that they're not relying on their own strength. They're keeping his word. They're keeping, like you said, the word is true. It's always true. His word doesn't change. It changes not. Heaven and earth will pass away, but his word won't change because it's true. And them keeping his word and keeping his name and not denying his name is what allows them to rely upon his strength and not their own strength. You guys want to add anything? Okay. The word now, the word that they're keeping is kind of a double meaning. Word and name go together. Word is G3056 logos. Word, spoken or written, often with a focus on the content of a communication. The word is also a title of the Mashiach, emphasizing his own deity and communication of who the Most High God is and what he is like. And that goes back to John 1:1. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with the Most High. The word was the Most High. So this word that we're keeping, it's what it says, we're keeping his word, we're keeping his written word that's in the word of the Most High, but we're also keeping him because he is the word. If he in the beginning was the word, and the word was with the Most High, and the word was the Most High, so we're keeping the Mashiach, we're keeping the Most High, we're keeping that. David said, thy word have I hidden in my heart, so I may not sin against thee. So literally, he kept the Mashiach within him in the same way that he's calling us to do. So when it says that we've kept his word, we're keeping him. We're keeping him in everything that we do. People get caught up on, in the church, they say, what was Jesus do? Because that's what they call him. Well, he wouldn't do anything because that's, not his name. But when we hold fast to his name and we hold fast to his word and who he is and what he did, then we're keeping him as an example. Literally, we're walking the path as best our ability and praying for him to guide our path, praying for the Ruach to guide our path in the way that he walked. And he literally is our template. We're following his map. We're following the way that he walked. He's our GPS to guide us because we're keeping him. We're keeping his word in written form, and we're keeping his word in our hearts.
Say one thing about the word. We know that like you said in the beginning was the word, and he was the word. And one thing that we know about the Most High is that in that beginning, when he spoke the first word, we know that it was a commandment. And those commandments have been the word, which is in him at the same time. And they know, we keep the word, and we keep him as well. And we know he is the Alpha and Omega, so his word came first, and his first came last. So he will have the last word at the end. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, the first and the last word.
Yeah.
And the last shall be first. So it's the same thing. In the beginning, when he speaks for it's everything, everything that the Most High speaks for is an active word. It's calling us to do something. So in the beginning and in the end, it's always us when we pray, we say, so be it. Because he gave us the power to call forth things in the same way. So we're calling things so be it that when we pray in his name. Did you want to add anything?
No,
okay, and then the word for name is G3686, onoma, which is name, title, and reputation. So again, it's his reputation that we did not deny his name, his title, that what he came to accomplish, what he came to do, who he was and is and will always be. The last shall be first and the first shall be last. And he's all from the beginning, he was there and continues and will be there. So not denying that and keeping that in the forefront of our thoughts. In 3 and 9, it says, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. The word loved, G25, agapeo, to love. In the New Testament, usually the active love of the Most High God for his son and his people, and the active love his people are to have for the Most High, each other, and even enemies. Now, there's been an interesting conversation going on this week that I've had with some of the sisters about the word love, about the notion of agape, eros, and phileo. And some of the sisters were asking, and I want to see what you all think about this, if there really are 3 words for love, or if that's something that the Greeks made up. Some of the sisters are of the mind that there's only one love, and that's agape, the love of the Most High God, which is unconditional, which is active, and that the other types of love, the eros and the phileo, are words that the Greeks just made up. What do you all think about that? Your first time hearing about the 3 words for love? Oh, okay. Okay.
I just know that when it comes to love, like he gives you the definition of his love all throughout the Old and New Testament. Everything he's doing, all through the Old Testament, he's pleading for us to not even have to go into slavery, but just do what we said we was going to do. Just keep the commandments, because he understands what we're seeing now, which is when you start gravitating to the other nations, then you begin to take on their gods, you begin to take on their personalities, you begin to do all kinds of crazy stuff that Israel was not only not allowed to do, but moralistically we didn't want to do. Bless you. We didn't even want to do, and so we have to be real careful with that because when it really comes down to it, it's about his love and what his definition of love is, and I think we just really need to really understand that, and I gotta say it, but it seems like the Christians got that real bad because they'll say, "Oh, the laws are done away with," when he's telling you that the only way that he's gonna think that you love him is that if you keep the commandments.
Yeah.
You know. So
Absolutely.
what he wants and what you want to give is two different things. You know.
This is
I
true.
wanted to add one more thing to that. I think the word love is in that tense because when you talk about the Jews and how they are the synagogue of Satan, a lot of people, a lot of our people, they you hear them say, if your God loves you so much, why did he put you in slavery, like all this stuff, and why did he do this, why did he do that, why are all the women in the Bible so cursed, like why are these people treated so badly, and you know what I'm saying, why they just ask a lot of questions about just they just have these doubts about the Most High, and I think the reason why the word love is in that tense, that the past tense like that is because to let people know that he did love us this whole time. It's just we messed up and we didn't hold the law and we didn't hold his name.
That's good. Yeah.
Well, I think too, the thing that we have to remember, like you said, he did love us the whole time, and it's never a question of his love. Rather, what's in question is our love. How are we showing the Most High that we love him? John 14, and we've gone over this scripture many times, 14, 15 through 21 says, if ye love me, keep my commandments. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. Even the Spirit of truth, the Ruach, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. I will not leave you comfortless, I will come to you. Yet a little while, and the world seeth me no more, but ye see me, because I live, ye shall live also. And that day ye shall know that I am in my Father, and ye in me, and I in you. He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me, and he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him, and I will manifest myself to him. So again, there's never any question. We don't have to ever question whether he loved us or even whether he showed us that he loved us. The thing we have to ask ourselves is, how are we showing the Most High that we love him? And the scripture says, if we love him, we'll keep his commandments.
Right.
So even though we say we love him, if we're not keeping the commandments, we're going by our definition of love instead of his definition of love.
And I want to say also that those people, that's asking this question, like, why does he do this? Why you do that? The thing is, if you have a child and you spank your child because they're not listening about something, and you've been on them for a very long time, you tried every other discipline you can possibly think of for them to see where you're coming from, and then they still don't see it, and you have to just spank them, just to, hey, you don't do this, It's because you love them that you do that. You don't do it because you're abusive. You don't do this because you're trying to hurt them or any of that. You see the bigger picture, and that's what it is with the Most High. He see the bigger picture of where we're headed, and that's why he told us, don't mess with those other nations. And people say, oh no, he didn't mean that, and they twist all these scriptures because in their minds they want to do something totally different than what he set up. But he set it up for a reason, and now you can see those reasons in these days that we're living in. Now you can see why he said don't go over here with these particular people and do nothing and join to them, because they'll bring you Easter and Christmas and all these other things that link up to Babylon, And so this was the reason why he said what he said. And people say, oh, well, God, I've had people tell me, God prejudiced, because they understood that he favored the children of Israel. And he was going to use us to correct the whole world, man, to bring this whole world under subjection. And had we would have did what he said, all those that came up against us, he would have just destroyed them. That's all. We wouldn't have to raise a hand. He would have took care of it himself if we would have just did the right thing. He says it in the word. So, it's a reason why he said keep the commandments. You got to keep them. You got to keep them.
Well, that's what it always comes down to, is our obedience to the commandments. Every Mistake. I mean, that's what sin is. It's doing something that doesn't please God. It's breaking those commandments. It's breaking covenant. Um, when the Most High promises us something, He fulfills His word. When He says He's going to do something, His word comes to pass. Our issue is that we've not been as mindful of our covenant with the Most High as the Most High has been of His covenant with us, because we don't keep His commandments, which leads me into verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Patience is G5281, hypomone, which is perseverance and endurance. And I hate to keep hammering the commandments thing, but this is what the Most High gave me. This is the vein He put me in for this week. Revelations 14:12 says, here is the patience of the saints. Mm-hmm. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High God and the faith of the Mashiach. So everything comes back to those commandments. Remember, He didn't say you kept the word of your patience. He said you kept my word, deny not my name, and kept the word of my patience. So again, the word goes back to Him. So we're keeping Him, and we're keeping His written word, and we're keeping His patience, His endurance. He's endured and was much more patient than anything that we could ever go through. From the beginning of time, He's endured and patient, waiting for us to return to Him, waiting for us to come back to Him, waiting for us to honor the commandments that He gave us when He established the world. And He's been patiently waiting for us to do that from the beginning of time, knowing that He would even have to intervene to cause us to wake from our slumber, which He told us would happen. And in spite of that, He still continued to be patient and endure. This is the patience that He's asking us to have. When we ask Him for something, we act like the Most High is not responding because He doesn't give it to us right away. And we're being impatient to a very patient, the most patient Most High God, who's been patient from the beginning of time. Remember, one day is as 1,000 years to the Most High God. So when we ask Him for something, He's responding the same day if we ever get it in our lifetime. So the fact that we believe that He's taking too long to respond is an illustration of our lack of patience. That we need to wait on Him to be as patient, to keep the word. The word is the promise. The word is true. The word is saying, this is what I have for you. He says that He knows what He has for us, that we would come to a good and expected end. He already knows the outcome. When we ask Him for something, He's waiting on us to acquire His level of patience. Sometimes we don't get the things we ask for because we're not patient enough. And even when we think we're being patient, we can still be that much more patient because He's even more patient than we could ever be. And He has things that He wants to release to us that we can't even think about. We're still waiting on those things that we've asked for, but He has things that our minds can't even comprehend. The word says, eyes have not seen and ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the hearts of men, the things that the Most High has prepared for those who love Him. And remember, if we love Him, we keep His commandments. So in order for Him to release the things that He has for us, and for us to develop the patience that we need to receive those things, we need to show that we love Him, which means we need to keep His commandments, and we need to be patient by His definition of patience.
And I want to say, in keeping the commandments, that, if you just take the Shabbat, how, all week long, you put yourself in preparation for the Shabbat because you know that day is going to come when you can rest, and that's very important because through rest, we're being rejuvenated, and, we're coming back, we're resurrected in a lot of ways. So with that being said, there's a perspective that we walk. We walk circumspectively, and things are supposed to be in order. So, we talk about the Shabbat, but we have to think about also is that, the working time that we have in between before the Shabbat. And the Shabbat really keeps you in perspective. It keeps you balanced. Right. And I just thought that was so important, even in that conversation, how the Shabbat keeps you balanced and it keeps everything in perspective. You know, and these things are not hard to do. People act like it's hard to do or something, but it's not. And and that's what he means. But when he tells us that, if you love me, keep my commandments. Because he wants us to be in perspective. And another thing we have to understand also is that if you do that, trust me, with work and school and or whatever it is you have children or whatever, you're not gonna have time for idle stuff. If you plan your time out right and put things in perspective, you will not have time for idle stuff. So this is why he wants us to do this, because it keeps us from building a bomb. You know what I'm saying? Even though our people don't really do that. But I'm just saying it keeps us from doing crazy stuff that you see the world doing, or coming up with all these different things. Because they got so much time on their hands, they can just do everything, be gay and just everything. Everything is just okay in the world. And when you're keeping things in perspective, you don't have time for those little innuendos that cause you to fall and stagnate in your growth and so forth. You moralistically, when you follow the laws, it's a standard that you're raising. So it's so important for us to keep that in mind because we don't understand that it's about being in perspective, you know. And I want to add that to that.
All praise to the Most High.
Praise.
It's interesting when you talk about you don't have time to build a bomb, and you're right. We don't build external bombs, we build internal bombs
Yeah.
because we'll blow up our life. We'll blow up everything that we work for and everything that the Most High is trying to give us by breaking His commandments.
Mm-hmm.
He's laid out. He'll show us things, and some of us, the word says that your young men will dream dreams and daughters will have visions. And so he'll show us things and he'll show us visions and we'll get a prophetic word and we get all excited and, waiting for these things to come to pass from Most High. And then we don't keep the Sabbath, or we, covet something from our neighbor, or we do something that's slanderous or murderous towards our brother, or hold a grudge, or don't repent. Something as simple as not repenting. Whatever it is we do, it can all be resolved by repentance. Acknowledging what we did, turning away from that, and telling the Most High that we're sorry. And in that one moment, by not keeping that commandment and breaking the law, we now cause our whole life to implode.
Yep. That's it.
So the last thing that I have is just talking about overcoming, him that overcomes. And so many things this week have shown me just about how we overcome is by using the model that he gave us, using the Mashiach to keep his word, to follow that path, to overcoming, fulfilling the commandments, following the commandments, keeping the commandments is the way that we overcome. And to those who do that, him that overcome, will I make a pillar in my temple, and he shall go out no more, and I will write upon him the name of my God and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God, and I will write upon him my new name. The word pillar is G4679, stylos. Pillar means column or leader. So literally, these are the people who he wants to lift up his church, to lead, to go forth. Judah, that's you for the most part, because we know that the word says that Judah will go first. And so we need to be commandment keepers, not commandment breakers. We need to be about our Father's business, just as the Mashiach was. We need to be following that example.
Yeah.
We need to allow him to lift us so that he can be lifted. And it's not for our glory, it's for his glory. When he makes you a pillar in his temple, you won't be seen because you'll be behind the scenes, lifting up the work of the Most High. When you're a pillar in something and you go out no more, that means you're stationary, you're stable, you're in the place where he has planted you and you are bearing fruit. you are doing things that are keeping that word. Because when you keep the word of the Most High, that means you're not just keeping it for yourself, you're planting that word in other people so that it can be fruitful and multiply. You're planting that word on good ground so that it can bear fruit. And fruit is other people who are going to keep his commandments, other people who are going to plant his word so that other people, so it becomes continuous. When you become a pillar, you're so deeply, firmly rooted and planted in his word that you are not moved by anything except for his word. You stay in that place where he planted you until his word says move, whether that be a physical word, a written word, or him saying go. Just like he told Abraham to go, and Abraham went and left his family. And then he said, now Abraham never got his word of prophecy until he went to the Most High, the place where the Most High told him to go. And he went to where the Most High told him to go because he was being obedient and following after what the Most High said for him to do. So when the Most High plants us someplace, we need to stay in that place that he's planted us until he says go. And then when he says go, once we follow his direction, then we'll get additional clarification on word, just as he did to Abraham. And then he'll tell us, okay, now this is what I need you to do next. Because sometimes we don't know how to follow directions, and he may say, go here and do this, and by the time you go here, you forgot what he said to do this.
Well, you done spoiled it on the way there.
Yep.
Telling other people.
Yep. That's good. Yep. So will.
Yep. As soon as you get the word, you tell people before you even go. Oh, the Most High told me to go here and do that. Oh, okay.
Because it's exciting, you know. Honestly, it's exciting when the Most High speaks to you. You know He's speaking to you.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
It is.
But sometimes you're just supposed to keep it to yourself.
Unless he say
unless
tell.
He tell, yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes he'll say, you know, I want you to do this, and I want you to take that person.
Yeah.
I want you to do this. I want to. It may be for word. And sometimes, most of what the Most High gives to you is generally only for you. Sometimes it's not even for your family. So sometimes we get excited and we want to say, you know, oh, the Most High said this, that, and the other. Most of what the Most High tells you, especially when it involves you doing something, unless He says you and your family. If He says you and your family, then it's for you and your family. But when He says you, and it's that secret, you know, when you're in your secret place, when you're in your prayer closet and the Most High speaks to you and gives you a specific direction, it's for you. And what'll happen when you start to share with other people, even with your family, you'll become discouraged because they won't catch the vision.
Right.
They don't have the vision because they didn't receive the word.
Exactly.
The word is the seed for the vision to be cast. And so we have to make sure that we're keeping his word and that we're keeping his patience. Because again, it all goes together. This is how you overcome. You have the word, you keep the word. And in that word, you have his patience. You keep the word of his patience. When he gives you his word is for a specific season. Habakkuk says to write the word and make it plain because it is for an appointed season. When he gives you a word, he gives you the word of his patience that goes with that word that he gave you, so that you can wait for the season to come for that word to bear fruit.
That's good. That's good. I remember Most High gave me a word in 1994. I didn't see that word come to pass into almost 18 years later. Yeah. And I was trying my best to make that word come to pass on my own, you know, periodically here and there. And then finally I understood that I had to let go.
Yeah.
Finally.
That's what we mess up though. Yeah. Trying to make the word come to pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're not being patient.
I don't know who that's for. Hopefully that's gonna help somebody. For real. Let it go. Most High gave it to you, let it go.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna come to pass. You ain't gotta worry about it. He's gonna make sure his word come to pass. You ain't gotta worry about that.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
All praises. Anything else?
That's all I had.
Okay, for the Most High. Okay, Brother Yada, what you got there?
Okay. Now, we'll start off by saying, now we read the Church of Philadelphia a lot because that's what we recognize. We recognize that this is the church we're supposed to be in, but it wasn't until recently, after doing all the studying of the other church, that I personally got some clarification on what the Church of Philadelphia really is. We already know that it's the Church of Brotherly Love. We know that, and we know that we read this because we are. Um, this is the type of people that we are. So this is how we know that we belong in this church because our hearts are always um, our hearts and our actions are always um, how can I say, it's always exemplifying brotherly love and it's always promoting that.
Mm-hmm.
So um, these past few weeks, I've been getting clarifications, which is why I don't really have to have notes because I've been getting revelations from the Most High. And praise the Most High for that because from reading these other churches, I've gotten a chance to really, um, I've gotten a chance to become one with this church and really feel like I belong by knowing that the insides and the deep message that these churches are getting and it's really just bring it's really just brought home some a deep connection with that I newly found with this church. So I just wanted to start off by saying that. And just the word I've been getting these past couple of weeks is the door. Most High is telling me doors that are being opened, and these doors are only being opened for a small amount of people. We know that in particular it's the key of David that are opening these doors. So um, we know that these doors are we know that doors take us to places.
Foremost, yeah.
Right. So these places that we are being led to, the Most High, we know that the Most High are only opening his doors for us because he gave us the key. So going into verse um, start with 8. I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. But thou hast a little strength. And little strength. Now, we might not. Sister Ava, she had her she did her definition of strength, but to me, what the Most High gave me was that a lot of people feel like they don't have the means or they don't have the physical means to get to this place that the Most High is leading them to, and the Most High already gave them the key to, because they don't think they don't think they're strong enough to get led to that place. They don't think they're worthy. They're doubting and they don't really believe. But the Most High is telling for whoever this message is for, the Most High is telling you that you already have the key. He gave you the key. You just have to go to that place and you have to open that door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good.
Um, Going into verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. And we talked earlier about love and the synagogue of Satan. We know that verse 8 talks about the door, and once you go through that door, wherever this place is taking you, you are in the midst of the synagogue, and we know that these people that are in the synagogue of Satan, that they're not just in one place; they're everywhere.
Right.
So we know that the Most High is saying in His Word that they will come to us and they will worship us once we get through that door, and once the time and the season comes for us to get to that place, because we know that just like I was talking about, everyone has their season and their own and how the word manifests at its own time, and you will be led to that place when the Most High leads you to that place, and whenever the time is for you to go to that place. And we know that there's a set time that the Most High already ordained for us, for this script, for this particular verse to come true, for them to worship before us. and the people will see that the Most High loved us, and
Yeah.
the people will see that the people who were claiming to be Jews and are not, that if he loves us, then he hates them because they're taking our place and they're trying to take our blessings and they're trying to dwell in the place that he set for us, that he gave us the key to. So they're really breaking and entering into our place.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Most High was giving me.
You're right, they don't have a key. They just breaking it in.
Yeah. So that's really much what the Most High was giving me. He wanted me to talk about the doors, and he wanted me to tell whoever this message is for is to get your key, find your key. Some people, we lose keys sometimes, we misplace them, and the Most High is telling you to get your key and go to your place wherever He is telling you to go, that you have to open that door and you have to go. That's what He wanted me to tell you.
I had something about the breaking and entering. The Most High, I didn't actually have this in my notes, but I didn't read it.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's appropriate. From Isaiah 60. Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Most High God, and the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their king shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee.
Yes.
Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary. And I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Most High God, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an external excellency, a joy of many generations.
Yes. Okay. Very appropriate. Okay. Okay, I was gonna comment on, but it's okay because it's in my commentary as I go. So I'll just, instead of commenting, I'll just just say it's probably already got it. Okay, so Church of Philadelphia. Okay. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that has the key of David, he that openeth and no man shutteth, and no man openeth. Okay? So this is saying many things here. But let's tackle this one thing. Okay, we know our word has been mishandled by the enemy of souls. We know that for a fact through transliterations and so forth. But not enough where you still can't see the salvation plan of the Most High, Mashiach and Ruach, for his people. So we know that in Romans 8:38 and 39, it says, for I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principality, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of the Most High, which is in the Mashiach HaMashiach. Okay? So, and also, we know this too. That 1 Samuel 13 and 14 says, but now thy kingdom shall not continue. The Lord hath sought him a man after his own heart, and the Lord hath commanded him to be captain over his people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee. So this is talking about how David was after his own heart. So let's understand what's going on here. You got the key of David here in the first it talks about how the Mashiach has the key of David. So we know that we have to have the heart that David sought after the most highest heart. So this is this is another key of David that we have to have. We have to be like that. The Bible still tells us in I think Matthew 6 and 33 it says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and His righteousness, and all these things will be added." So we have to seek Him, you know, and that's how we go after His heart, by seeking, you know. Right. Okay. So it's like when you have a son and he lives with you and he's responsible and obedient, and you give him a key to come and go as he needs to. Well, so does the Abba. You know, he gives us his keys to his obedient and responsible sons, which in this case was Shishak, you know, the Mashiach, to execute sound judgment and entrust those who are in the same mind to carry out his will. So, you know, that's why you see here in the next verse, one of the angels carrying out his will. So you go to Revelation 9 and 1, you'll see, and the fifth angel sounded and saw a star fall from heaven upon the earth. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. Okay. Then it goes on in Revelation 20 and 1, it says, "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand." Okay. So we have to understand that the keys of David were given to the Mashiach. So he has the keys of David here. And he gave, obviously, the key to the angel that came down that has for the bottomless pit, because he got the keys. So that means that he had to come and get it from the Mashiach. You understand what I'm saying? So these things, when you look at the scripture, we understand that even when he told Peter he would give him the keys to the kingdom. So we have to understand that he's going to give Judah, you know, those keys, you know. So the binding and loosing. Let's get to it. Isaiah 22 and 22. It says, "And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder. So he shall open and none shall shut. He shall shut and none shall open." You know, this is the precept to that particular scripture. Then he goes on in Matthew 16 and 19, "And I will give unto the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven." Then it tells you in Zechariah 12 and 8, it says, "In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them in that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them." So the house of David, you know, they're going to have this key. This is what he's saying, you know, that he has the key. And that the house, apparently they're going to have this key, the keys of David. Like we said before, that these doors are portals. So we understand that. We understand these doors as being portals, you know. 8, "And I know thy works. I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. For thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name." So kept my words is commandments and testimony of the Mashiach. Okay. "Neither did we trade his name for other names, which Paul, Peter, and the rest of the disciples did not bring." See, because once we found out that the church had received a different spirit according to 2 Corinthians, you know, it says, "For if he," talking about the prophets, the pastors, so-called teachers, the angels, fallen angels, etc., "that comes preaches another Yasha," of course you got Jesus here, which we know that it didn't say Jesus because the letter J wasn't even invented when the scripture went forward. But so "he that comes preaches another Yasha, whom we," talking about Paul, disciples, so forth, "have not preached, or if you receive another spirit other than the Ruach and the truth, which ye have not received from laying on the hands through faith, or another gospel, false doctrine," siege Roger, fake Israel, according to Revelations 2 and 9 and 3 and 9, "which ye have not accepted," by the mouth of the apostles, of course. That's what he's saying when he said not accepted. "Ye might well bear with them. In other words, you might as well stay with them if you don't repent. So, we know that this is the order, that we have to be in, and that, people that come out of that situation in the church and so forth, they have to understand that, you know, we have kept the word and not denied his name. Because once we find out what's going on, we got to stay in that vein. That's the vein we got to stay in.
I just wanted to add something real quick.
Go ahead.
So much symbolism in this in these scriptures, and I just want to point out that in verse 8 he says, "I've set before thee an open door." We know that open doors, they're easy to access, they're easy to go through, and Yeshua was that open door, and with me saying that it was easy. He's saying it's easy for us to keep these laws, and it's easy for us to keep his word in his name. Because if that wasn't the case, and he wasn't saying that, then the verse wouldn't say, I've said before the open door. He would say, you know what I'm saying?
It's that door.
A door. It's just, the door is closed, or
Right.
so. It's just saying that this stuff is not hard. It's not hard to grasp. It's not
Right.
hard to do, and it's easy. You can just walk through. You walk in faith. You walk through that door, and there it is.
And really, the only way to mess up is to not walk through the door,
Right.
because the door is open.
Right.
Exactly.
So if you don't get in, it's because you walked in a totally different direction and missed the door completely.
Door,
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So let's look at the precepts on this. You know that by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established, right? So this is John quoting from the Mashiach, when he said, "Behold, I will make them the synagogue of Satan." This is the Mashiach talking, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Precept. Now look at Paul, 1 Corinthians 14:25. And thus are the secrets of his heart manifest. So falling down on his face, he will worship the Most High and report that the Most High is in you of a truth. Okay? Now look at Isaiah. The prophet Isaiah in Isaiah 49:23 says, "And the kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. For thou shalt not be ashamed that wait for me." So these are just 3, like I said, witnesses that they will bow down and worship us. Okay, now let's get to this. The Gentiles are doing this right now in prophecy. Okay, there's about 25 to 50 videos. I know I counted at least 25, and I just got tired, so I stopped. And this was videos of the prophecy fulfilling as we speak. The Gentile nations are coming forward and kissing the feet of the real prophets, the children of Israel, just like prophesied. And you can Google it as well as YouTube it. And you won't see no other nation of people where Gentiles, even so-called whites, are bending down to the ground, prostrated before us, kissing the feet of the Israelites that was byworded African Americans. I encourage all of our listeners to go and see it online as proof that another prophecy is being fulfilled through us. The Most High is raising up the 12 tribes of Israel in these last days. All praises. So please go take a look at that. Even the Gentile nations that's hearing the sound of my voice right now, go and look, Google it up. Don't have to put black or white or any of that so-called bywords in there. Just put in kissing feet of the Israelites, and let's see what shows up. Or put in what they like to call us Hebrew Israelites, so put in Hebrew, whatever. Of course, they like to call us black Hebrew Israelites, I guess. So whatever you want to put in there, I'm not a byword specialist, so I'm just Hebrew and the Israelite. So understand all that stuff. So whatever you want to put in there, but put in there, and I guarantee you, if you look the opposite direction, and you put Asians getting their feet kissed by other Gentile nations concerning them being Israelite, guarantee you nothing's gonna show up. If you use every so-called nation of the earth, and ain't nobody gonna show up but the ones that
Scripture talks
has
about
been oppressed here in the Americas and so forth. We the only ones gonna show up. The true Israelites around the world, we the only ones gonna show up when you do that. So once again, Judah, specifically Judah too, you'll see a lot of Judah with their feet kissed. And the prophecy is happening now, even though it's going to get bigger and there's going to be more people doing it. But it's happening right now before our face. This is a prophecy, and the prophecy is a sign to show you who the children of Israel are. So I encourage you to go look that up. I want to mention that. Okay, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So I got Revelations 18 and 10. Let's go with it. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So we see that the judgment is coming, and it's coming in 1 hour. So because we kept the patience, he's going to keep us also from that hour of temptation. Okay. So at that time, he, the Most High, will put his people that's in these assemblies who has brotherly love, okay, aka, of course, also known as the Assembly of Philadelphia, or the Church of Philadelphia, out of the Americas and the rest of the corners of the world and bringing them to the wilderness. So we know that there's scripture that says that certain places are going to be exempt from the Antichrist. So we look those things up, and it's going to be Moab, Ammon, and Edom, which is the modern day Jordan, but also through the wilderness. It talks about, just through the wilderness, wherever the Most High lead us into the wilderness, that's what it's going to be. So it's going to be he'll protect you according to Psalms 91. Okay. So verse 11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. This is a good one. Behold, I come quickly, meaning you won't know it. It'll be so fast you won't even know it. That's how fast you come. So hold on to your crown, which is the promise, so that no man during that time will cause you to fall. See, Jacob's going to be lying to you. He's going to be cheating you, trying to kill you and your family off, snitching on you, all kinds of different stuff. Hey, they ain't got no mark. They over there. This is the kind of stuff he's going to be doing. So, they won't have it will be zero brotherly love going on. Even though this church is the church of brotherly love, there's going to be a lot of people that's not in this particular frame of thought. So you have to be real careful during those days that no man pull you down, and then you got to go through the same temptation they're about to go through, because they don't want through the rest of the tribulation. Instead of going into the wilderness where you should have been, if you would have just held on to your crown. So it's important that you have to realize that there's some crown snatchers out here. There's some jealous people out here that don't want to see you succeed, and they will hold you and your whole family back. Okay, and do it in the name of the Most High. I mean, they're daring like that. So you have to really, really be careful and be real careful who shalawam you these days. It's not always what it look like. I mean, don't get me wrong. You just gotta be careful. It is what it is. So you have to make sure that you hold your crown.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think the reason why it says, "Behold, I come quickly," is that a lot of people You got a lot of people nowadays who don't believe that he's coming back, and so they're not going to be expecting it.
Yeah.
So
Or thinking they
he's
got
going to
time.
come so fast. Yeah, and that too. They think they don't have time, and
They'll have time.
it's going to be so quick. Like it's going to be during that time of tribulation, we know, and people is going to have so much other things they're trying to do. They're going to be because these people are not prepared. They don't read the scriptures. They don't even know what to expect. And in the midst of panicking and trying to prepare and try to make sure your family's straight, he's gonna be here. It's gonna be too late. I think that's why it's saying, "Behold, I come quickly," because you're gonna be trying to prepare and try to do all that stuff, and it's gonna be too late.
And I just want to say something else. If you have any oughts against your brothers, fix that stuff. You're not going into the kingdom like that, y'all. His brother got this, he's saying a different name, and I don't trust that brother and all that. We got to get out of that. The 7 churches tell you that everybody ain't gonna have a name. So if you think you got the name, or if I think I got the name, or anybody think they got, the 7 churches tell you that that everybody not gonna have the name. Okay, it tells you that. And then not only that, but we also just have to look at it like, okay, he's still dealing with the rest of the churches. There's other reasons that he's not dealing with them. He didn't say nothing about, you ain't got my name right, so I ain't dealing with you.
Right.
So we got it twisted, man. We really do. The Most High is not letting nobody into his kingdom like that, y'all. We got to straighten that stuff up. If you got any ought against your sisters or your brothers or anybody, try to make it right. If they don't want to talk to you, then there's nothing you can do about that. All you can do is continue to pray for them, and hopefully whatever is holding them back, whatever that bond is or whatever it is, hopefully it'll be broken free, and they'll come out of it, because ultimately you should want to see your brothers naked. So that's the way it is. So we need to have that type of love for our people, irregardless of what we've been through with one another, or what we're going through with one another. We got to try to make it right, because the Most High is not letting people like that into his kingdom. All right, that's you should be real clear to everybody.
We know that the people that's not like that are not in this church. Well, because if that was the case, then they would have that brotherly love.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah. So, any questions about that? Okay, 12. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my Abba, Father, God, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God. And I will write upon him my new name. So a pillar is a supporter of the building. It's connected to the foundation. And then it serves the purpose of holding up the building. That's the people. So it should always be noted that it's unmovable. Okay? So these pillars will be placed in the temple of the heavens that's made not with hands. So he will receive the name of the Most High, the Mashiach, and the New Jerusalem. Okay? So with that, 13, he that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit said unto the churches. So he that has an ear to hear, the Most High bless you with understanding, hear what the Spirit has said to the churches. Go ahead.
I wanted to comment on the pillar again.
Go ahead.
It's almost like a level type thing. Like you have to be a pillar. You have to uplift the word in yourself first before you can become a pillar. Because if that's the case, if you're not, you're gonna be a weak, and you're gonna make the whole building fall. So before a higher can make you a pillar, you have to you have to be that example and uphold the word yourself and be strong before you can become a part of the building.
Exactly. That's why he said, he that overcometh, him that overcometh.
Right.
If you don't overcome, then how can you make your pillar?
And you don't go out anymore.
Yeah.
You stay.
Mm-hmm.
Stay there, man. Once you're in the temple of the Most High, you don't go out anymore.
Oh, great. So this, any more questions? This concludes our Sabbath lesson for the day. And we thank you for listening. Any comments or questions or anything you may want to add or say, like I said, no big eyes, little U's. We all, each one teach one. So with that, we want to say shalom, happy feast.
Shalom.
So everybody that's celebrating the feast is coming up and upcoming feasts and so forth, the high holy days. All praises to the Most High. And shalom, shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.
Kwam Yasharel.
Kwam Yasharel.
Kwam Yasharel.